Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of the SurgeCast, presented by Primo X Hockey, Level Up Snacks, and In the Clutch Apparel. I am Zach Merton.
I'm Bailey Curtis.
And welcome to another episode, guys. Thank you to everyone who watched/listened to our last week's show with Sam and Kat. That was a lot of fun.
Chaotic episode, but it was great.
Wasn't as chaotic as I thought it was going to be.
No.
But it was definitely interesting. Some interesting picks. I unfortunately got screwed in the head coach department because, of course, the Hurricanes only have to have like 5 head coaches in 25 years, which it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But 2, it's also like crap when you're the 4th pick and you're down to either Kirk Mullen or Bill Peters. You're kind of like,
You kind of got to hold on to your team to carry all the weight in that sense. That's what I think screwed you over the most.
Yeah, well, probably also relevance or recency bias too, or just
That's
the fact
true.
and also I think because of the fact that let's just talk about it now. We were going to do it later, but let's just get it out of the way now because basically ever since we dropped this, I think you've basically been at like either 50% or just like maybe 48 at the most since this thing kicked off. And I'm just like, how in the absolute world? So, oh gosh, of course,
90 votes last time I checked, which is awesome. And thank you guys for voting on this. We appreciate the engagement.
Yeah, with 1 day and 20 hours to go, because this closes at 3 p.m. on Friday. So if you're listening to this on Thursday. So there's going to be like a day left and maybe some change depending on when it comes out. But yeah, Bailey, 50% of 90 votes. That means you got 45 of the 90 votes.
Woohoo!
Hey, what? If we get 100 votes, I'll be happy with that. But then Kat at 27%. I'm only at 20, and then poor Sam, 3% of the votes.
Okay, she did really good.
She did.
It, because you got to think. I mean, the Canes are her second team. She's only been following them pretty recently, so
that's not bad though.
I was pretty impressed with how she drafted, given that.
I thought she had a good team, honestly. I mean, when you have Jeff Skinner, Sebastian Aho, Jack Drury, I could kind of see where people are kind of like that might have been a stretch, but like you said, she doesn't really know a whole lot of Hurricanes, but Tim Gleason, I mean, that's a solid pick for defense. And Justin Falk, a lot of people like that one. And then I mean, Antti Raanta is your goalie. I mean, that's not a bad team to look at. And then Pierre Laviolette, I mean, he got you a cup,
right? So
I mean, it's not a bad team, I guess. Well, we'll save your team for last because oh my gosh, yeah. But then Kat's team, I mean, Paul Maurice is your head coach. I mean, that's not bad. That 2-time coach of the Hurricanes.
Yep.
I mean, that forward core. You have Seth Jarvis, Ron Francis, and Justin Williams. I mean, come on.
She did a wonderful job as well. And I mean, honestly, I knew she had her defensive core locked down. Her first pick being Jacob Slavin. I mean, you knew she was going to do well with it.
Both of her first and second round picks were both defensemen, and of course, it had to be Jacob Slavin and Brett Pesce. Like, okay, just get one of the most dynamic defensive pairing that we've had recently since 2016. That makes sense. I mean, heck, I should just pick Brady Shea and just get on my way with it at that point. Like, geez, I mean, her team is just great. And then my team, when we were drafted, everyone was like, "Oh, this is gonna be we thought it was gonna be closer." Because you said my forward line was just an absolute cheat code. Because you think it was,
it is.
when you have Sammy Kapanen on your right wing, I mean, I could have picked. I mean, I could have gotten Justin Williams, or I could have gotten, a bunch of other guys. I should have picked Chad LaRose. Just
you should have. Honestly, Rosie on a team.
I know, but Sammy Kapanen, I thought it'd be a good pick though, because a lot of people like Sammy Kapanen. He did really good as a Hurricane. But then when you have 2/3 of the BBC line and Eric Cole and Rod Brandamore, You know what? I should pick Bates Battaglia. I should just pick the entire. I should just pick the entire BBC line. Where, all right, try to defend this because they were a menace.
Yeah. No, even with recency bias, like that's a line a lot of people know.
Yeah.
If not Battaglia, then at least Rod Brindamore and Eric Cole.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a great 1-2 of Cole and Roddy. Like, oh my goodness, those two together were just. And then defense, like, maybe you could say something. I mean, but Brett Hedican though, everyone loved Brett Hedican. Like he was a great defenseman. Like, I mean, Yoni Pickett, the dude was an absolute cheat code on defense. He could actually score goals. See, the thing is, like, I got a good shutdown defenseman in Brett Hedican, and then I got a goal-scoring D-man in Yoni Pickett. Like, that dude, goals for days, assists for days. He had points for days as a defenseman. Like,
I mean, two defensemen that absolutely would have complemented each other.
Exactly. So. It makes it... Okay, and then my goalie. Yeah. Archer's Urbe. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I could maybe Trevor Kidd or maybe, like you said, Martin Gerber.
Yeah.
I mean, if I picked Gerbs, it probably would have been like, okay. Or like
maybe. But like you brought up a good point on the podcast last week where like he may have done great during the regular season, but postseason he was absolutely outshined by a certain goalie.
Yeah. Well, let's say like Urbe was just an absolute monster. Like there was no one taking him out of the net, and that's just how he was. And then, of course, head coach. Nothing good about that one. It's just either Kirk Mullins or Will Peters. What can you do? It is what it is. But because we had the kid, someone's like, how come RBA wasn't the head coach and then player on one team?
Well, we had to make sure that would have been an automatic win.
Yeah, that would have been too easy for that person to be like, oh, I have Rod Brindamore as the coach and as my center. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's like we had to make it fair to make it like, okay, you can't have Roddy as both. It's one or the other. And I love Roddy as a coach, but come on, I had to pick him as my
that's a no-brainer.
But the thing was, though, if I didn't pick Rod Brindamore as my captain or as my center / captain,
you wouldn't have gotten him at all.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been out of Rod Brindamore regardless, so it wouldn't even matter. So it's thinking ahead of like, okay, coaches are going to be last. There's a possibility RBA comes off the board before pick 4. With 5 head coaches, so it's kind of like, let's just go for the slam dunk and RBA is the center and go from there. Now, let's go to the team that has like 50% of the votes, exactly half of 90, which we said, oh, Bailey and Zach and Kat might have like the closest. No. Kat, no, you've been at like over 50%. I think you hit like maybe 49, maybe 48 at one point.
Yeah.
If that, maybe 48.
Pat myself on the back for that one.
The fact that your first pick, no shock to anyone who knows you.
No.
Cam Ward, okay. Yep. You have one of the best goalies in Carolina history as your goal.
Retire his number already.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I forgot. Kat's goalie was Freddie Anderson. I forgot to mention that. It was Freddie Anderson. But yeah. So you have Cam Ward. Get his number retired. I don't know why it's not already. It should be. But then it's like, okay, we're just going to go from goalie out to your front line. So your defense. Now, Paul Coffey was a good defenseman. With the Hurricanes,
maybe not so much, but
but because it's Paul Coffey, the name alone will get you points because it's Paul Coffey and he played for the Hurricanes. Now, again, Glenn Wesley, another great pick because everyone loves Glenn Wesley. His number's retired. It makes sense. So, okay, so you get like, you already have 2 guys from the 06 Cup team already on the team as your goalie and one of your defensemen. And then and then you have Ray Whitney as your right winger, who the Hurricanes got before the deadline, which was just they had Ray Whitney before the season started, because they got Ricky and Doug Waite at the deadline. But you have Ray Whitney as your right wing. Fantastic picks. There's another 06 guy. And then your center's Eric Stahl, which everyone loves Eric Stahl.
Absolutely.
He's top 10 guy in the franchise. Goals, assists, points, whatever, what have you. Obviously, okay, that works. So there's like 4 of the 06 guys together. And then you have Andrei Svechnikov as your left wing, and everyone loves Svech. Like that, I mean, it's a great pick. And then your head coach, the RBA rule comes into effect because you have Rod Brind'Amour as your head coach,
which I was very surprised that I got, and also not, because I fully expected Sam to pick up RBA, but I understand why she went with Laviolette.
Won a cup.
Yep.
Which makes sense. I mean, yeah. But I mean, the fact that you have Svechnikov, Stahl, Whitney, Coffey, Wesley, I almost said Weasley. Sorry, not Harry Potter.
Our nerd side's coming out a little bit.
Just, hey, as a Ravenclaw, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm a Gryffindor, so we can get along.
Okay, well, that works. That works. But yeah, then you have, like I said, Ward is your goalie and Ryan Brind'Amour is your head coach. I mean, it's just...
I'm very proud.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun draft. Don't get me wrong. I'm really excited for when we do like our full roster draft, where it's like 4 lines, 3 defensive pairings, 2 goalies, and 3 scratches for a 21-man roster. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
because those rosters are going to be... They're
going to be all over the place, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we might not do head coaches for that one because it's like, actually, we still might do that just for funsies, just to see where we're at that point. But it's like,
we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, those rosters though, oh my goodness, like,
I mean, there's a lot of talent within the franchise. In years past, so it'll be a good one for sure.
Yeah, like a lot of people are like, oh, how come my Commodore wasn't picked? How come
so many of you guys brought up names, and it was so funny because Sam in our group chat, she texted us after everything, and as the poll had been kind of going on a little bit, she was like, if somebody asks me why this person wasn't drafted one more freaking time.
Yeah, and people are like, it's like, guys, she's a Flyers fan, number 1, but she is a new Canes fan. But the thing was, it was a lot of Flyers people asking her, and she's like, it was a draft we did at the spur of the moment, and it's like I barely know half the like not even a quarter of the franchise. So it's like,
which, like we were saying, she did really well for not knowing the entire franchise as well as the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and we're talking about a line. Like you're talking 5 skaters and a goalie.
Yeah.
Out of 25 years of this team, like, the Dark Ages team, those we might pick and choose some guys off the Dark Ages teams. But I mean, you're talking like the 2002 through the 09 teams, and then what 18 to now. I mean, you're talking there's a good stretch of 10 years where maybe a couple guys are going to get picked out of those rosters. But I want to say from 97 to 2009, that's a good 11 years, and then the last 4. I mean, I think about 15 of the 25 years, you're going to see a lot of those guys are going to probably get picked for the rosters. But if it's us 2 and let's say 2 more people, it's going to be very spread out for how many guys are going to get picked for these certain teams. I'm really curious to see. I'm curious. I think we got to get your dad for that one, because that'd be fun. And I want to see who we can get for our 4th, because I feel like another Hurricanes podcaster who's
awesome,
who's been around for a bit. That would throw a wrench in the system for sure. When you got basically a lot of Hurricanes fans, like us 3, and like I know you for the most part get a good sense. But
I'm
interesting.
I wasn't around for a lot of it, but I've been doing my research a lot, especially the more and more I get into this team. So and I feel like having my dad around and growing up in the neighborhood I used to with a bunch of the people that I used to hang around, like that really helped too, because I grew up in Hurricanes Town. Like
Yeah.
just like we'd get together and watch games all the time at my neighbor Dave's house. And like his son and I, who are like, he's like my little brother. I love that kid to death. Which he's not a kid anymore, which really blows my mind. But anyway, it like we used to fight all the time about like stuff like the games, and it was a constant conversation topic growing up. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun kind of getting into it with my dad.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then like I said, I'm curious to see who our fourth is going to be, because I want to do more. It would be fun to do like 5 or 6 people, but at that point, it's gonna be like that's gonna be like a 3-hour episode trying to do it. So I think having 4, like us 2 and then like 2 others, I think it'd be fun for like another like 4-person Super Hurricanes like all time team draft now instead of just a line draft, like an actual team draft.
Oh. Yeah. Which would be interesting. Like, should we do that as a snake draft, or should that be like how the actual NHL draft is run?
Oh,
that'll be the big question.
I feel like probably this. I don't know, because if it's a normal draft, then basically it's just like, yeah, because I guess you couldn't go back to back if you were in the snake, but then if you're going to normal NHL draft, then it's like, do we have to randomize the rounds every time, or is it just the same person gets the first pick in every round?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll definitely have to talk to the other 2 people that we have join us and see what they want to do, because that would definitely changes the strategy a little bit if you're going from a snake where it's like, okay, 1 and 4 is going to get back-to-back picks, or if it's a normal draft, then you're not going to get I'm going to steal 2 players right now. Actually, I kind of might like the NHL draft style better, because at least it would be a little bit more even, instead of like, okay, you have to wait like 3 picks before you get back to you, or you have to wait like a couple picks. So yeah,
maybe.
You think you might be onto something here, but I don't know. I definitely know for sure the BBC line is not going to be together in that draft.
Nope.
There is no way.
Lucky. You got lucky with this one.
Oh yeah. Well, even then I only got like 2/3 of them, but of course I should have picked Bates, but I didn't. But should have. But yeah, no. If it's like I said, there's no way the BBC line is going to be picked in that super draft unless you get very lucky to get all 3 of them early. But even then, it's like, what are you going to do with the rest of your raw? Like I said, it's going to be a long draft regardless, because you're probably talking 21 rounds with 4 teams. Yeah, that's good.
We may have to split that up into 2 episodes.
Or just make it one super long episode and just let people have fun with it. I mean,
that's true.
The graphics alone on that is going to be super interesting how that's going to work out.
Yeah.
Just to be able to have like all the rosters. Like, I mean, if you do like how the Hurricanes doing on Twitter, it's not, they do a pretty solid job.
Yeah, they do. Great job.
Yeah. So maybe something like that. Don't get super crazy with it, but
we'll make it work.
Yeah. Good thing we have a graphic designer on the podcast.
A little bit of one.
I'm a little bit of one too. Yeah, I'm a little bit of one too, but that's mostly because I had to start learning how to do that for the show graphics. So,
thank God I have some experience taking classes in high school that kind of helped me out a little bit.
Yeah, also being a social media person too for camps and everything else also does help. So, yeah. So far, that's where we're at so far in the poll. So we have until when you do hear this, it's going to be probably about a day left.
If you haven't voted yet, go vote.
Please.
It was a lot of fun. And yeah.
Let's see if Bailey stays above 50%. All we need is like 10.
Give the other guys some love. Give it, Especially Sam. Go give Sam some love.
Yeah. Sam did a good. I don't know why people don't like Sam's draft.
I enjoyed Sam's draft. I personally really liked the fact that because she threw a curveball with drafting Drury. I was like, I didn't like he's played 2 NHL games, but he was really solid in those 2 games that he played. And I really like the fact that she's got a lot of youth. Up front.
Yeah, she really does. Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. So, I'm debating. Should we go into sponsors real quick, or should we go just straight into the questions?
Yeah, let's just give some love to our sponsors real quick, because once we get into these questions, there's no stopping.
All right. So we're going to go to our sponsors for a few minutes. Guys, show them some love from Primal X Hockey, Level Up Snacks, and in the Clutch. And when we come back, we will answer your questions for this week's Ask the Surge. Hey, everyone. We'll get back to the rest of the episode. I just want to take a quick minute to talk about our amazing sponsors of the podcast, Primal X Hockey, Level Up Snacks, and In the Clutch Apparel. First sponsor we have to talk about, it has to be the original OG from the day one sponsor, and that is Primal X Hockey. If you're looking for anything from stick tape to stick protectors, outdoor pucks, anything you can think of, you name it, they have it from indoor to outdoor with amazing apparel as well. You gotta check out the guys from Primal X Hockey. Really great group over there. Been to the warehouse, really, really nice. Cannot speak highly enough of these guys. The great thing too is they're based in Raleigh. So if you're in the Raleigh area, look at the pickup from the actual warehouse. They can do that. If you're also looking to get your stuff shipped, they also do that as well for free shipping all across the United States. And the best part is, I got a discount code for you guys. So if you go to primalxhockey.com and use the code SurgeCast, in all caps, you get 20% off your order. Like I said, you cannot find a better group in terms of just having great hockey equipment and even apparel. We got hats, we got koozies, we got t-shirts, hoodies, all that great stuff. So make sure to go to primalxhockey.com. Use the code SurgeCast so you get 20% off your order. And like I said, you can do pickup at the warehouse or you can get it shipped. That is how amazing these guys are, and it's fast. So why not go check out Primal X Hockey, where you get all your great hockey equipment and you can support the podcast and support them, because shop local, support local. Next sponsor I want to talk about is Level Up Snacks. If you're looking to take your gaming to the next level, make sure to check those guys out because they have really great, amazing, drinks. They got watermelon, they got green apple. I'm a big watermelon guy, but I don't know, that green apple tasted really good. It gives you like good focus, 0 calories. Why not enjoy some great hydration while you're playing those games to take your game to the next level with these guys at Level Up Snacks? And the cool thing too is they got snacks coming soon and they got fast delivery. So why not join the Level Up fam? Go to levelupsnacks.com, and if you use the code SurgeCast, that's right, another SurgeCast code, you get 10% off your order. Just go to levelupsnacks.com, use the code SurgeCast to get 10% off your order with some really great quality drinks and snacks coming soon as well. The last sponsor I want to talk about is In the Clutch. If you go to intheclutch.com, where they have amazing MLBPA, MLSPA, NCAA, and vintage sports designs on all 100% licensed products. Like I said, really great, amazing stuff. They even got hockey on there too. So if you're looking for, a Cincinnati Sting, or if you want to look for Mighty Ducks, Cincinnati Mighty Ducks t-shirts, they even got the New England Whalers t-shirt. Anything you think of for hockey, they got them over there. Plus, amazing on the courts as well. And the cool thing too is, we even got some merch over there as well within the Clutch. If you go to their hockey section, look at the SurgeCast, we got a t-shirt and we got a hoodie. And another great thing too is, we got another discount code in there as well. If you use code SURGE, you get 10% off your order within the Clutch. Really great group over there. I cannot highly recommend them. Their products are amazing. Definitely check them out. So remember to go to intheclutch.com and use the code SURGE to get 10% off your order. So big, massive props to Primal X Hockey, Level Up Snacks, and intheclutch.com for being able to help support the podcast. And like I said, if you guys use SurgeCast at primalxhockey.com, you get 20% off. Use SurgeCast at Level Up Snacks for 10% off. And if you use Surge at intheclutch.com, that's another 10% off. So why not help support the podcast by also helping out the sponsors as well? Now, without further ado, let's send it back to the rest of the episode. And we are back. All right, so I'm hoping that people like the name that we came up with for the questions now, because it's now Ask the Surge.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Honestly, like that, it rolls off the tongue really nicely, and it's a cool like thing that people might remember. We can make it into a hashtag. It'll be it'll be cool. Yeah, it's definitely a hashtag right now. Ooh, you know what? We might have to talk about merch. Either way, we gotta start talking about other stuff. But I also did search trackers for the fan name. Mm-hmm. Just throwing it out there. I don't know if people are gonna like it, but you know what? We haven't got any other ideas. So I figure let's try search trackers. I mean, it works. Let us, I mean, you guys, I mean, ultimately, you, the listeners, it's what you guys are being called. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we're throwing out Surge trackers, and then we also got Ask the Surge. So little something different for, because we didn't really know what to talk about this week, because it's like, it's pretty much quieted down in terms of
not
news.
much is happening.
No, but we are 199 days away from the Stadium Series game.
Yes, and we found a Trocheck jersey, so Kat and I can recreate Tro and Slavo hugs, and it's very exciting. Thank you to Deb for that.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what she's gonna have planned for all of us, like you, me, and Sam.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be absolutely wild. Just doing TikToks before the Stadium Series game as we're all drinking at the same time. It's who's driving? Not me.
Well, thank God. I mean, I legally cannot drive with a rental car, so I get to get an Uber or whatever, find my friend to get me back. So I don't have to worry about that. Thank God.
Oh yeah, because you gotta be 25, I believe, for that. So there you go.
My next milestone birthday.
I'm past all the milestone. I'm past 30. All I have left now is 40, 50, and 60. Like, there's no other small milestones before you hit 30. Once you hit the dirty 30, you're pretty much like, here's your decades. That's pretty much about it. It's all right though. It is what it is. But so going into fan questions, we did get some good ones. So we appreciate everyone who did send in their questions. The first one is from our friend Sam, talking about her team. Why did Sam not pick Alex as her first pick? Well, one is I don't know, Sam. You tell us. Why you didn't pick Alex?
Which is why I responded to her, and I was like, I was thoroughly surprised. I don't know, but
I literally called her out, and I'm like, Sam, so your first pick of the draft, and why is it Alex Lyon?
Yeah. and she's like that was one of the many curveballs that she threw during that episode.
Yeah, she's like Auntie Aranta. I'm like, okay, we're starting off with Auntie Aranta as the first overall pick. Not the first guy thinking about coming off the board, but
fair pick.
It's a fair pick. I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with Andy Beach. I mean, it's a nice one. I still love the fact that his name translates to beach from Ranta. It's just so fantastic. I just want, when I see him, I just want to yell Andy Beach and see if he actually answers me. That would be fantastic.
He seems like a wonderful human being. He probably would.
Oh, he would. He probably chuckle at it just because.
But honestly, if we're gonna kind of go into the seriousness here, because she was like, "I'm being serious."
Yeah.
Maybe, and this is just speculation. She can call me out and tell me if I'm wrong. But honestly, if I were an Alex Lyon lover, I would be kind of betrayed or feel a little betrayed because he is not with the organization anymore, and it would make me very sad.
Yeah.
So maybe that kind of goes into it a little bit, but also the fact where there's a lot of other guys that have a lot more experience in the crease. So
yeah, I could see that too. And I think because Alex Lyon did have some stints here and there, I think she wanted to have fun with it, but also be a little bit serious too, because the fact this is an actual draft, we're gonna have a poll. We all had fun with it, but it's also at the same time you're like, all right, who has the best team? So there is a little bit of a competition in terms of it too. So it's I think you got to find that fine line of having fun, but also having being a little serious with it. So,
and the thing that helped her out a lot too is she did in the end get a little bit of her Wolves representation in Drury. It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. Like I said, I could be wrong too, and Sam gonna let us know once this episode drops. I'm like, okay, were we right? Were we wrong? Or kind of somewhere there with it? Like I said, I think for me, it's just from me guessing. I think it's just trying to have that balance of having fun, but also being serious with it, because it's this is kind of
it is a competitive event. Yeah.
Like Kat said, she's very competitive and she wants to beat me at least.
Coming for the throat.
Yeah. If I come third, so be it. At least I know my front line would absolutely just demolish everybody, so it's okay. I mean, her defense though, her defense is a little tough. I'm not gonna
I'd like to see that all-star matchup.
I'd be here for it. If there was a way to have like all the teams play each other, that would be very interesting.
Imagine watching that. Oh my god.
A round robin of just all those guys playing with each other. So basically, so what would happen if it was my team against your team because Rod can't coach and play?
Every time he makes a shift change,
there is no shift change though because it's
true. Yeah,
it's 5 against 5, so there's really no line change.
He's just calling BS for the things called against the other team just at the refs. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, I'd be so here for it, and you know, have like Wade Mentor do the piano, do the calls, have like Scalco do the play-by-play.
Get John Forsland back on.
Oh, get John and Tripp, then have Mike in between the glasses talking to the guys. Or
maybe even get Chuck Caton back too.
That would be fun. Oh, you know what? They'll get. Oh, you know what? Get Shane Willis, the ref. That would be so great. That would be so great. Yes. Yeah, that was another guy we could have picked too, because that was a massive. For me, Shane Willis will always be my what if for the Hurricanes, because if he didn't get all those concussions, like he was gonna be I thought he was gonna be a really great player for the Hurricanes, and he had a lot of promise. It's just injuries, but I think he will always be my massive what if for the Hurricanes. But yeah,
I mean, I still like that he's with the organization after all this time too. Like,
it's so great
part of it, and especially like stepping in for Tripp after everything, and he's got great analysis. He's got great knowledge of the game. So
very, very knowledgeable. Never on social media. So
nope.
Just zero.
Come on, Shane.
zero person. Just anywhere on no presence on social media. So it's like, how do you get a hold of Shane Willis? Write him a letter, I guess, or call or know someone that knows someone that can be like, hey, Shane, you want to come on or something? Yeah. So
I don't know.
Yeah, but in serious, so going back to Alex's question, I think it's just
Sam,
yes. Sorry. Talk about Alex Lyon. There you go. Because we're talking about Alex Lyon. It's been a long day.
It has.
It's been a long day. Yeah. Also, we're in the middle of packing and like trying to get stuff ready for the house and all that. It's a lot. But but Sam, thank you for your question. We kind of guessed. Hopefully, we're right.
We have our speculations. You'll have to tell us in the end.
It's like that's the kind of you have to tell us why you didn't pick Alex Lyon. But hey, Answer Rod said number one first overall pick. Not mad about it. I'm here for it. All right. So the next question comes from Daniel Wagner from Like 50 Ninjas. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome dude. I love the handle. Very, very nice. I'm here for it. Do you think that BB-8's defensive stats, talking about Brent Burns, might drop a little with less time on ice? 26 minutes allows for more poke checks if you think about it. That's actually a really good question.
So I do have his stats pulled up.
Okay.
Just looking at it. And so depending on how far we're going back. So last season, he had 10 goals, 44 assists. Not bad on the points front for a defenseman.
On a very bad Sharks team, too.
On a very bad Sharks team. Because that's one of the only two teams he's ever played for in the NHL, the first being Minnesota.
Yeah. So I would say even go back to when the Sharks were consistently making the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was still a pretty dominant defenseman.
From 2013 to 2017, roughly, he was putting up like double it. Like he was in the 20s. I think his lowest for that kind of stretch was 17 goals, which is not bad at all. So
and that's when you're on a good team that actually wins games,
right?
So I don't think will his defensive stats go down? I don't think so because now like he's paired with Jacob Slavin.
Yeah, I mean you're looking at a guy in 2020, 2021. He had 7 goals at most. Last season he had 10. So there's a lot of room for improvement given what the best in his career has been.
Yeah, and also coming from the fact that never really a great defensive partner either for the most part, and it was also a bad Sharks team with no goaltending in their offense went stone cold. So it's like, yeah, you can look at his stats all you want. You can look at his time on ice, his plus minus, but it's also what's the context of the team that he's playing with. He's playing with a Sharks team that's basically struggling in the most easiest division in hockey, I believe, in the Pacific. The Pacific is not it's a very top heavy division. So it's not like he's playing in the Metro with a really trash team.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. It's just the Sharks were not a good team for the last couple 2-3 years. So I believe his defensive stats might be just as good or maybe better now, because now he's going to be on the power play units. He's going to be with Jacob Slavin. He's going to be on a team that wins games. And the fact that you've got Gleason and Rod Brendamore and all that stuff is your coaches.
Again, we're still in draft mode.
Yeah, it's just you're looking at. I think his defensive stats might get better, honestly, because this team is good. You put him on a good team, he gets better. So I think Brent Burns, we're going to see a surge in his points this year with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And it's hard. You'd be very hard pressed to find a better defensive partner than Jacob Slavin in the league, because he's one of the. I mean, he won the Lady Byng last year, not this past season, but the season before, for his 2 penalty minutes.
He should have won it this past season, but we won't go into that again.
And the exact reason I think he didn't was because, I mean, you guys all know my thoughts on TDA, but it's
you mean TA?
Yeah, TA. My bad. It's gonna take a sec.
Well, plus, he got 10 penalty minutes. So that's How dare Jacob Slavin get 10
I know,
minutes?
and so it's one of those things though. But Brent Burns seems like a very competent defenseman. He seems like a very disciplined defenseman. Like, we don't have to worry about the penalty minutes like TA got or Ian Cole got or things like that. Like, he seems like a very disciplined partner for Jacob Slavin, and I think they're going to complement each other wonderfully.
Oh yeah, Brent Burns has 700 and something. I think he has 700 and something points, I believe, in his career.
So let's see this. 777 points total.
If we were in Vegas, he'd win the jackpot for that. But he's
Thank goodness he's not.
Well, yes. But he's also won the Norris, so I mean, he's not a slapdick. He's not going to be a bad defenseman. He's good. Plus, what was it 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago? We talked about the stats for blue line stops, poke checks, stuff like that. Brent Burns was single digits for all of his, and 2 of them were first. And then Jacob Slavin had one stat 11th, but everything else was 1 and 3. That defensive pairing is going to be absolutely stupid good, and I think Brent Burns is going to be totally fine, even if it's 26 minutes a game, which even that's still a lot right now, because that's way too many minutes for the regular season. Playoffs, maybe.
Something else I actually don't really know much about too is, and just kind of looking at him and thinking about his reputation in the league, is I think is going to add a lot of that physicality factor that I think our team as a whole is missing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he really will. So I don't think it's going to dip. I think it's just going to be either just as is or it's going to get better. So I think Brent Burns is going to be totally fine here in Carolina. I don't think we're going to see a drop at all in his defensive stats. But Daniel, thank you for your question. That was a really good one. We appreciate that.
Shout out to you, my man. I did grab my guitar. He will know what I'm talking about. We have conversations on Twitter all the time. Great dude. Go give him a follow. He's an awesome follow.
Oh yeah, he's great. All right, next one comes from Caniac Zach from Porus for Scores. Nice. What do you think the 2 power play units look like this year? Assume Nietzsche comes back for this. I know we kind of, for the most part, talked about it
kind of on our free agency episode.
Right, yeah.
First episode or second episode of
let me go to daily Canes lines for daily face-off. If you're not on Daily Faceoff, I definitely recommend them because they do a pretty good job of staying up to date with the rosters and also the lineups. But also Cat Friendly is also your friend too.
Yeah.
In terms of that,
Cat Friendly is a very friendly resource to you. So
yeah. All right, so real quick, we'll do the power play list, but let's just go through what Daily Faceoff has for their lines as of right now. So they have Max Pacioretty, Aho, and Seth Jarvis as your first line, which I'm here for it.
right.
That's a great first line.
Yeah.
Then we have Andrei Svechnikov, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and Teuvo Teravainen. That's a very interesting second line.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have Teuvo and Svech with KK.
Which not mad.
No, it would be interesting. Teuvo and Sebastian not together. That's we'll have to see how that works out. Then Jasper Foss, Jordan Stahl, Andre Kasha is your third line.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad third line, honestly. I'll be okay with that. I'm okay with that as your third line.
Yeah.
And then you got Jordan Martinook, Jack Drury is your center, and then Martin Nietzsche is your right wing. That'd be a good fourth line, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It wouldn't be bad. It's just
the lines. I think it like 5-on-5 play. I don't have a problem with. Yeah. Or no, the 5-on-5 forward lines are the ones I do have a problem with. The special teams were the ones that I really enjoyed.
Yeah. It's trying to figure out what you're going to do with Seth, Teuvo, Svech, and Pacioretty in your top six.
Yeah.
Because then, unfortunately, you do have to drop Martin Nietzsche down. And you can't really take Jasper Foss off the third line with Jordan Stahl. And Andre Kasha is a great third line guy. So it's kind of like Nietzsche kind of sort of has to get dropped out of the top six because, honestly, you look at your top six, it's kind of heavy with the guys that are supposed to be there. Jesperi didn't play a whole lot of top 6 minutes, so it'll be interesting to see what he does this season. But and then look at this defensive unit. I actually kind of like this. It's Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns. No shock there. It's weird to see Brent Burns with an 8 and not an 88. So, of course, Bray Shea, Brett Pesce.
Who's surprised?
Shocked. I'm personally shocked, but you know,
for a curve with that one.
Now this third pairing, I can dig this third pairing. Ethan Bear and Dylan Coughlin.
Okay, yeah, no problem with me.
Honestly,
not going to see any arguments from me.
I'm kind of here for it. I'm here. I sign me up for that defensive pairing because that would be fantastic.
Now it's just a matter of who's breaking that power play.
Yeah. So looking at the first power play unit for the Canes, Cord Daily Faceoff. This is not what our personal picks are right now. We will get to the question, but this is what Daily Faceoff has. First power play unit, we got Andrei Svechnikov, Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen as your forwards, Brent Burns as your left D, and Max Pacioretty as your right D, but your fourth forward.
So Brent Burns quarterbacking
he would be quarterbacking
four-man forward line made of the SAT line, or what is it? Yeah, SAT plus Pacioretty.
Yeah. It's the Sat Patches line.
Okay.
So, honestly, though, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
This power play unit, to be honest with you, because you got Patches as your fourth forward, and you got the Sat line together. I mean, I'm okay with it. They have Brent Burns as your quarterback, who's definitely known as your quarterback guy for defense. I don't see any issues with it, honestly.
No, anybody who's talked with me about this knows that I love the SAT line. I also love Jarvis being plugged in for such. But when it comes to the power play, you do want guys who do have a lot of goal scoring experience. And that SAT line plus Patches is lethal.
And with Brent Burns as your quarterback for that
guy who's been in the league for forever, which can sometimes rub people the wrong way. I know it did for me when we first got him, but he's a guy that's got a lot of experience. He's a guy who knows how to run a power play. Yeah.
To be honest, though, I've always liked Brent Burns. I've been a Brent Burns guy for like a long time, even when he was with the Sharks, because I love his personality. Because if you see any of the stuff that's gone on behind, like when people talk to him, like either on his ranch or just anything that he's done off ice, he has a great personality. I love it. Like, yeah, he's older, but he still has that older left in the tank to still produce type. So I think he's a great fit. I think that trade for him, it stinks to see Steven Lorentz go, but I mean, I think getting Brent Burns is good. I think it definitely opens the window for the Canes a little bit more because we got him for 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
So now you have like your top 4 D core mostly together for the next possibly 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Now, to see if I would make any changes to that in my personal picks, second power play is going to come into play, no pun intended, a lot. Sorry, road's busy today.
oh boy. Oof.
What?
No, I'm looking at the second power play unit right now, and I am
not a fan.
All right, so core to daily face off. I am Jesperi Kotkaniemi is your left winger, which is automatically no because he's a center, mainly as a center.
Yep.
I don't know how he doesn't center this unit. And then you have Jack Drury.
Nope.
Seth Jarvis is your right wing. That works.
Yeah.
Seth is the right wing works. Jacob Slavin is your defenseman, who is your quarterback, which makes sense. I would maybe say Ethan Bear would have been a better choice, or maybe Brady Shea
for that second line
for the second
power play unit.
Yeah, Slavo's good.
See, I like Slavo in that position a whole lot more than I like Brett Pesce.
Yeah,
because Brett Pesce by no means is he a bad quarterback.
I said Brady Shea.
Oh, Brady Shea, yeah.
I said Brady Shea. Now, that's different. Now you're talking Brady Shea.
Still, I don't think I'd put him above Slavo on that unit.
Very true. I'm just thinking. I'll agree with you on that. I do like Slavo there too. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm saying there is other. If you had to switch him out, I would say probably Shea or Ethan Bear. Ethan Bear would be a pretty decent quarterback.
I'd like to see a little bit more of Bear because we were gypped out of seeing him for a lot of the season last season, but we know how Brady Shea works.
Yeah, I think if we had to take out Slavo, I think Bear would be the pick, but Slavo is fine.
See, for me, I think my succession goes Slavo, Pesce, Shea.
What about Bear?
Bear, I'd put underneath all of them.
Okay.
Just because I don't have a lot of experience with watching him, so I know what I've seen.
Yeah. And then Martin Nietzsche is your fourth forward. Man, that whole. And that's the thing when you have 4 forwards for your power play, because you are breaking up a lot of these lines, but it's like, yes, you do have the sat line with Patches, but then, man, just Jesperi Kotkaniemi as your left wing, and then
I'd maybe if it were me crafting these, take Jack Drury out of it altogether. Kid is young, and I like what I've seen from him. We just haven't seen him in the NHL at that not doing 5-on-5 play.
Well, yeah, and especially being a center of the second power play unit, I don't see that because
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because you're looking at, if you are on a power play unit, that means you have good numbers and the team really wants you to start putting points on the board with advantage. I like Jack Drury, but I don't think he's had enough experience to do that yet. And if you're going to put Kotkaniemi on a second power play unit, he has to be your center.
Absolutely. Just because, we've seen what he can do at wing, and he's virtually invisible when he's on the wing.
Yeah. Even then, I would say if you had to put a center that wasn't KK, you would have to go with Jordan Stahl.
Yeah.
And even
for the veteran presence alone.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, Jordan on a power play unit, I don't really
I see him more on a
He's
PK,
a PK. He's a PK. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At that point, you got to put KK as center. Then I would have to say I would say take, like you said, take Jack completely off
Mm-hmm.
I would say leave Martin Nietzsche as your fourth forward.
Mm-hmm.
Put Jesper Fost as your left wing on that second power play unit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Either him or Andre Kasha. I would say
it's between the two of them for me. Yeah.
I
was almost leaning more Kasha.
Yeah. I want to say Kasha too, but the thing is, I would have to see how he stays healthy and how he plays for a good part of the season before I can be like stamp him on the second power play unit. Of all the guys have seen play, I would give Jesper Fost a little bit of a bump on Andre Kasha right now, just for actual playing time of last season as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I wouldn't even see Jordan Martin. I wouldn't even fit there either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
nope.
And that's the thing, because you're breaking up a lot of forwards together, and it's like you said, I like Jack Drury too, but man, that's tough as the second power play center.
Something you could also look at as well, if we're looking at the chemistry aspect and how we already know guys work, maybe you flip Patches and Jarvie.
You could, but the fact that you're giving Patch already $7 million next season, and you basically tabbed him as your goal scorer.
Yeah,
he's
and that's why this is such a loaded question, because there's so many options you could make with this.
Yeah,
I don't know, if you're going for the goal scoring aspect. I absolutely love seeing Patches up there on that first unit.
Yeah, he's gonna be on that first unit regardless, because 6 30-goal seasons. The Hurricanes are basically tabbing this guy as your goal scorer.
But you also brought up a really good point too, with the second unit being that unit. We're sending you guys out. We're nearing the end of our power play. We need some production. Patches is a production guy.
He is, and it's just, yeah, I don't know, that's tough.
Do you either want like a really good first unit and a kind of lacking second unit, or do you want to try to make your second unit look good with at least some sort of veteran goal scoring presence back there?
You want to have good goal scoring presence, but here's the thing too, though. You're talking about chemistry. He's going to have no playing time with the rest of those guys in that second power play unit, because the guys he is going to play with, it's probably because, like you see, he's going to have Aho because he has Aho as his center, and he's going to have possibly Seth as his right wing. But I think you're going to see a flip of Seth Jarvis and Tavo when the season starts, because I don't know how Rod is going to break up the Finns off that first line together. So you're going to probably see Aho, Tavo, and Patches as your first line.
Yeah.
And it's Fetch, KK, and Jarvis. So we go to the power play unit, you're going to have that whole first line together just kind of jumbled around on your first power play. And then we're talking about chemistry. So like I said, you do want to have two good power play units, but at the same time, you said chemistry, and Patches is basically deemed the goal scorer for this team.
Yeah. I mean, at least on that second unit, he would have some sort of top 6 chemistry with KK.
Yeah.
But
I would say
I don't know. This is a hard question.
It is. So if we're going into the personal picks now, not based on what Daily Faceoff said, I keep that first power play unit together. It's perfect. The stat line with Patches, Brett Burns, done deal. Sign it off. I'm good with it. The second unit, I would say you got to throw KK as your center. Take Jack out. I'm going to throw Jesper Fost as your left wing. Possibly Andre Kasha down the road to see how he does. Keep Seth on the right, and then have Martin Nietzsche and Slavo as your D-man. Or you depends on how Martin Nietzsche has been playing, take him out, throw in Andre Kasha. Then you can have Kasha and Fost with KK and Seth Jarvis.
See, I might put my eggs in my basket on Natchez just because we know what this kid is capable of.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what his stick handling looks like. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I love that first power play unit.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of on the fence. I Patches really could do well anywhere, and it's just a matter of, you want the chemistry aspect, do you want the goal scoring aspect? What are we exactly looking for out of either of those units?
Yeah, of course, it's not end all be all. Like, they'll probably switch it around at some point too. But I would, like I said, if you want to have Andre Kasha and Jasper Foss in the second unit together, fine. If not, then I'd say you keep Nietzsche as your fourth forward. You flip KK as your center, and then throw Jasper Foss as your left wing. Leave him with Seth. Leave him with Slavo.
Yeah,
I think that's a good. It's a good second power play unit. It's not going to set the world on fire, but it's a good unit to have when you have your first. Because mainly your first power play unit is the unit that's supposed to be just scoring at will. Your second power play unit is supposed to give you chances as well, but it's your first power play unit usually is we're going to just go absolutely off on everyone else.
Right.
So yeah, but that's just my personal pick. So like, where are you at with your? We know you love your first.
Yeah.
Where are you looking at for your second unit?
Jacob Slavin, keep him.
Of course. Yeah.
You had a great point with KK on that at center. We do agree with taking Baby Drury out, which again, love him as a player, not on the power play unit at this time.
Not enough sample size to be like, all right, here's the second power play unit. Go and do something with it.
That's something that's kind of got to be earned to a sense. Given that Natchez is still with the team, keep him. And then I probably go Kasha.
Okay. And then Seth as your right wing?
And then Seth, yeah.
Yeah. So basically it's kind of like so we're kind of on the same page. It's Kasha or Foss. Kasha for you, Foss for me. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Zach, thank you for your question. That was
it's loaded. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it, especially so knowing, like, I know that you kind of mentioned in the question, like, this is given that Natchez is still on the team.
Yeah.
It's hard being able to pick that out with the not knowing.
Yeah, exactly. So just for funsies, looking at the power play, the penalty kill units too, just for the sake of argument, they got Aho and Tavo together as the first unit, and then they have with Brady Shea and Brett Pesce. Here for it. Second unit: Jordan Stahl, Jesper Fost, Jacob Slavin, and Ethan Bear.
Jordan Stahl, Jesper Fost, Jacob Slavin, and who?
Ethan Bear.
Burns? Ethan Bear.
Ethan Bear.
Okay.
Honestly,
I don't hate that.
No, I think that's both those penalty kill units. Perfect.
You've got the chemistry. You've got the defensive presence, especially on that second unit, with Jordan Stahl being the defensive offenseman that he is.
Easily should be winning some Selkies, but yeah, for sure. And then with the chemistry with Fost, and then you have Slavo, who is it's Slavo. I mean,
shut down.
We've all in the last couple of days have seen that a massive save they have against Calgary. I mean, everyone loves that video. And the Ethan Bear back, perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
And goalies, it's no shocker.
They're the Jennings winners. You guys know them. You love them.
Yeah, it's Freddie and Rance. It's no shocker here. It's just no. But Zach, thank you for your question. That was definitely a loaded one for sure. Definitely a lot more fun. We know it's just the power play units, but I kind of want to go through the roster too. Be like, what's the update on that? So it's definitely.
I mean, it's really fun to speculate. It's just it's hard when you like. There's so many question marks. It's not, plus, just for our team right now.
Yeah. Plus, Rod Burnmore is the head coach, so you never know what's going to happen. Luckily, we might not ever see. I like Jordan. I like Martinuk, but we might not see first line Martinuk probably for a while. So.
I love you, Martinuk, but no.
I love him too, but it's like
it stresses me out when I see him on the first line. Just I don't need that kind of stress.
Yeah, I have enough to stress me out about that. That is not
one of them.
All right, so the last question, and probably the most interesting question out of all of them, which is saying a lot because that last one was pretty tough. But this one from another Belly Up podcast, really great group of guys from the Unbearable Sports podcast. They're actually a Chicago Bears podcast.
Hershey Bears?
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so Unbearable Sports, Unbearable Sport. That's their tag, or their handle, but it's Unbearable Sports. They ask us this: would you rather fight one Andrei Svechnikov sized duck or 100 duck sized Andrei Svechnikovs?
I gotta go the latter.
You want to fight 100 duck sized Andrei Svechnikovs?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this though. You're gonna get absolutely swarmed by 100.
Sorry. I'm thinking what would be the most dangerous. Go with the duck-sized Andrei Svechnikov. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's like no. Who would you want to fight? It's like
I would not want to fight 100 Svechnikovs, no matter the size.
yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, really, you want to go with the ladder? You're gonna fight 100 duck size.
Sorry,
we're not talking rubber duckies. We're talking like actual duck. Did you ever see the show Friends? Or have you? Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've seen what a duck looks like. Yeah. A normal sized duck that's Andrei Svechnikov. You talking about 100 of those things?
Yeah, no. Nope.
He'd be punching your kneecaps.
Especially last season with how feisty he got and how physical he got. I don't want to deal with 100 of them on knife shoes. No, thank you.
Just even in sneakers, that'd be an issue because he used to be punching your kneecaps in because they're duck side. They go at least go up to your knees. He's maybe knocking your kneecaps out. It's 100 of them.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to grab.
At least with the Andrei Svechnikov sized duck, I can deter it with food.
Yeah, so just throw it.
It's not Andrei Svechnikov I'm dealing with. It's just his size, and I can deter that duck with food easy.
You know how tall is Andrei Svechnikov? Like 6?
He's 6. Hold on.
But are we talking about the weight size of an Andrei Svechnikov? Or are we talking about
let's go, we're going height and weight. So man is 6'2", 185 pounds.
So basically he's my height, but I got a good weight difference on him.
Yeah. So we're thinking of a 185-pound duck
who's 6'2".
Yeah, I would
with a wingspan probably of forever.
Yeah, so I'd rather fight that.
Honestly, like I would probably want to fight a duck, Andrei Svechnikov sized duck, just for the sake of brevity of like not getting my butt whooped.
There's something in that Russian water, and I don't want to deal with it in 100 duck sized Andrei Svechnikovs.
It's the Russian gas.
It's the Russian gas.
It's the Russian gas.
I'm not trying to deal with that. Nope.
Think about this though. What if you somehow befriend the duck, the Andrei Svechnikov sized duck?
What I'm saying.
What if you befriend it?
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot I can do to either befriend or deter it. Like there's options.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to fight it, but it's like I would just try to feed it food.
Battle tactics.
Just become friends with it. Like, could you imagine? Like, you can learn to just you can walk your duck.
Yep.
And people be like, "What?" Try to explain that to your landlord. It's like, what kind of pet do you have? I have a duck. Oh, that's cute. You show up with he's just like,
yep.
What?
It's like that one video that goes around on Instagram or whatever with that guy who brings his duck in through the Starbucks line. Imagine that duck sitting in your Starbucks line waiting for that Starbucks ice water.
Oh my, that video.
You know the video I'm talking about?
Yeah, where the duck is sitting in the seat and it's just quacking really loudly. And it's like you were really loud for your water, and you see the ducks are drinking the water really fast. It's such
Imagine a 6-foot version of that though.
6'2" version side of that.
6'2" version of that.
$1.80. A $1.80 soaking wet duck. Yeah. Who's 6'2". There is so many avenues we can go down with just like trying to befriend her, just how to how are you gonna like explain that if you live in an apartment complex? Like, this is my duck. And you're just like, one, how, and two, think of the voice capacity of that duck too, because that duck will be loud.
Blow the roof off of the place.
Exactly.
Bring that into the loudest house in the NHL.
Oh my gosh. Move over, Stormy. We got this duck. The real ducks are in Carolina, not Anaheim.
I can't.
This just went a whole different direction. But no, honestly, That's a great question. I love fun questions like this where it's not like it's kind of hockey related, but it's kind of like so out there. It's like,
yep.
What would I rather fight? And yeah, definitely a Andrei Svechnikov sized duck, height and weight included, not just height.
Yeah. So I don't know, but
there's an image to think about.
It's an image I don't want to think about, honestly.
What a 6'2" duck?
Either of them. Because either way, if you can't befriend the duck, it's still gonna be either way. You're getting a pest.
Yeah. Well, think of the neck size too. Like
yeah.
Well,
and I don't know if you've ever been bit by a duck. I almost got my finger bit off by a duck when I was going to feed them one time. It was not fun.
I've never had any issues with the ducks. I've always had a good time with them. So that's kind of yeah. But at least it's not at least it's not a goose, because then it really gets you with their necks. So I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, but 100 duck-sized Andrei Svechnikovs. I think that's more scary.
Yeah, no. No thanks.
Yeah, no, and the fact that they just all yell at you in Russian.
Yep. Which that alone is scary enough.
Like how would you defend yourself? Like,
no,
you
don't. That's the answer. You don't.
Yeah, like even if you got like a hockey stick and try to whack all those Andres with a stick, it's not going to do very much, because like they're all coming all at you from all sides.
The thing is, the duck-sized Svechnikovs, they'll get you with the face, because he's got it. Like he's a looker, but as soon as you drop your wall, whatever, drop your guard. No. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. In a long-winded roundabout way, we're both going with we will fight a one Andrei Svechnikov sized duck.
Yep.
6'2", 180.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna let you think about that.
Yeah.
Until next week's episode. Have fun with that mental image of a 6'2" duck. And you trying to fight it. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
But that will wrap up this episode of
Great note to leave off on.
I know, right? That's why I saved that question for last, because it was so out there. I had to leave that for last.
It's great.
Such a great. So thank you to everyone who left us questions. This was a lot of fun. This was a great Ask the Surge episode. Very basic. We didn't, like I said, there was not a lot for us to talk about this week, because there's not really any real updates. So, but we appreciate everyone who sending questions. I know next week we're gonna have a normal show. The 2 weeks after that is gonna be very interesting, with the fact of like Bailey's moving, I'm also moving, so we're gonna try our best for the rest of August to get more episodes in after next week. So the last 2 weeks of August, bear with us. We're gonna try to finagle our way to do some episodes. So we'll see how the rest of that goes, but. Thank you to everyone. Like I said, thank you to everyone who sent in questions. This was a lot of fun. This was definitely an interesting episode of Ask the Surge.
Yeah.
But Bailey, before we actually go, where can the people find you on the socials?
So, as always, you can find me on Twitter at Bailey Curtis, and that's Bailey with 2 Y's. Super social on there. Definitely, if you want to talk hockey, you want to talk anything, definitely send me a DM. Mention me. I love talking anything. So, reach out there if you want. If you're interested in some more of just kind of like my personal life and stuff, go follow me over on Instagram at Bailey Lynn Curtis. I also help in running the Belly Up Hockey Twitter account. It has been a little slow recently just because, off season, not a lot going on anywhere in the league. Maybe we've got the World Juniors coming up, so you may see a little bit more content there. But definitely go and follow Belly Up Hockey, and of course, follow the SurgeCast on Twitter.
Yes. Make sure to check all that good stuff, because who doesn't want more hockey in their lives? I mean,
absolutely.
It works the best. We also, like I said, we also do have a link tree in our bio that can help you find where you can find our podcasts. You can check out our amazing sponsors. Like I said, down at the bottom, all 3 of them, go check them out. We have a lot of cool stuff. We do have some merch on In the Clutch. So if you go and use the code that we left you guys, you can get a t-shirt.
Or a hoodie.
From the SurgeCast from In the Clutch. Great group of guys. Definitely have to check that out. They'll also have a lot of other cool stuff on there as well, so definitely check them out. It also has our link to our YouTube. So make sure to go check that out. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to turn on all notifications, so hit the bell, turn on all, so that way you can stay updated with all of our video versions of these episodes, and maybe some YouTube exclusive content that you can only watch on there. So who knows? We might get some stuff in the works on that. But you can find me on social media at OneTrueZach on Twitter. That's OneTrueZach, spelled out, not the number one. I am on Instagram for the most kind of, sort of. It's mostly just looking at reels or sharing them to my stories. But that's Zach R. Martin 22 if you want to go do that. But mostly it's on Twitter. So like I said, DMs or hit me with some mentions. Yeah, all that good stuff. Talking hockey, talking whatever. I mean, we're all here for a good time, and it's just let's have some fun with it. So, but until next week for episode 6 of season 2, I'm Zach.
I'm Bailey.
And we'll see you here next time at the SurgeCast.